Quantum Conversations, your portal to the inner realms. Access infinite possibilities, infinite mastery, and infinite love. Mind-expanding, heart-opening conversations with some of the greatest spiritual teachers, luminaries, and healers of today's world. Usher in new earth by living in your sacred heart. Quantum Conversations is brought to you by acoustichealth.com, home of music from the universe, online healing retreats, and this program. Claim your free registration to daily shows at acoustichealth.com. acoustichealth.com, your portal to the inner realms. Our program starts shortly. Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. As we move on the planet, we are assisted by our higher self, and this wisdom, this inner knowledge is really the best way to move forward. So how do we tap into this? How do we go into this white light? Call on the white light. It's a living energy. Well, we do it with our invocation and our focus. And my guest today is here to share with us more on calling in the white light. Let's welcome Jane Dance back to Quantum Conversations. Hi, Jane. Welcome.
Hi, Loren. Thank you so much for having me again.
You are a universal light medium, and on our last show, you shared experiences that are fascinating. So I want to have our audience go to the archive and listen to that. It's also on the special offer page. There's a replay to it. Fascinating. You literally live with one foot in the angelic realm and one foot in the physical realm. And you're bridging these frequencies and helping others tap in and tune into them. So welcome back. Oh my goodness. How have you been in the past, 12 months?
Oh, I've been very well. I've had, my business has boomed, and I have a whole bunch of new collaborations and ideas that have been coming in, and I've just been experiencing and welcome them in as each one arrives. It's pretty magical. It's amazing.
Wonderful. Well, you've got some guidance for us today, calling on the white light, and how this is really important in these days. With so much going on, it's a connection that we really long for, right? We really want that. But it's our higher self as well. So we're going to go into this today and learn more. Why this topic now?
So that is a very good question. So with a lot of my readings, I have heard from several of my clients that have basically had readings with what I like to call false light workers. So they're people that are posing as light workers, but they are coming from fear. And I have noticed just myself that with what is going on in the world at the moment, it's as if we're becoming oversaturated with information and misinformation.
Yes.
So it actually happened to me. At one point, I was pulled into events or situations that were based on fear,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the noise became too much for me. And so I literally fell out of the white light, because the white light, it is my home. It's where I live all the time. And I ended up giving my power away to these people because I believed in what they were saying.
Almost like you gaslit yourself.
Yes.
Do you know what that means? I know I found myself doing that too. And that's why this is so important. The inner wisdom, and that's what you're doing, that's what I'm doing, that's why we're all listening to shows like this, so that we can tap into that guidance, right?
Right. Right. And then there's people that, unfortunately, there are people that don't sit within that white light, you know. And I think that as a collective, it's very important that we all sit within the white light. We all call it into our homes. We all call it into our bodies. We all live from within that space.
Perfect. Yes. What a time for that. And so tell us more. The white light then, it's very high frequency.
It is very high frequency. It is invisible. It is living energy. For me, it is angels. It is ascended masters. It is the universe. It's definitely those higher, oh my goodness, they're even talking to me now. So it's the higher peaks of frequency that, it is just all love and all encompassing. I liken it to a hot cup of tea on a cold winter day. It just warms you right up. You know that you can't go wrong with a hot cup of tea or hot chocolate. It just fills you up. It just makes you so happy, and you just laugh, like you just giggled, because you understand what I'm talking about.
And I prefer the hot chocolate. Yes, I prefer the hot chocolate over the tea, just because that's just so fun and like cozy. Yes, I get that. Yeah. So what's keeping, and how do people become sovereign? I mean, it's obvious what's keeping us from that. But how do we become sovereign and stand in this white light?
Okay, so I have 3 steps. The first one I call, it's tune into your BS meter, so your belief system meter. And for myself, I have found that my belief system, whatever it may be, at times it will help me, and then at other times it will harm me. And so it will fluctuate back and forth. So it's just connecting with, a lot of it I find is just tuning out the external noise. So when you step into the light, when you tune into your belief system, you can sit with your honest behaviors, like your absolutely raw, vulnerable behaviors. Like, how am I acting? What are my motivations and my intentions behind, what I'm doing? And me, I'm a very raw, I like rawness in people. I like vulnerability in people, because that's who they are. That is their truth. If I give away my power to somebody, I actually get pulled farther away from the light.
Yes, and that's what you experienced personally, and I'm sure that many are feeling this. Oh my goodness, with what's going on in the world, we can get pulled in so many different directions. And so can you talk about how we would recognize when we're giving our power away? And so for yourself, if you want to use that example, how did you give your power away? By believing in something that didn't feel right in your body?
Well, I basically believed in a friend of mine, and basically her words were not matching her actions. And so I was friends with this person for quite a few years, And, we all give everybody the benefit of the doubt, or, maybe they're having a bad day, that sort of thing. But when I got pulled out of the light and I sat down and examined her behaviors and how her actions didn't match her words, when we're out of the light, fear set in. I had doubt about what she was saying. There was, I had lack. I was basically living in the lack consciousness because I was so focused on her and her bad intentions and just who she was as a person that it actually created anxiety into me. And all that, it lived with me. It lived with me for a week. She told me something that had nothing to do with me, and I lived with all of that for a week, and I lived in fear. I lived in doubt. I slept with it. I ate it.
Mm-hmm.
I breathed it. I'd go to bed, listen to meditations, great, whatever she told me was gone. And then I'd wake up in the morning, and it even affected my reading. A word would pop up, and then the messages she told me would flood my mind again. It was just awful. And I held on to it and held on to it. And I just heard it, and then it became a sticky situation. It's not, it wasn't me. I knew. I examined myself. I examined my thoughts. And I thought, wait a minute. This is not who I am. I don't have to carry this weight that she's given me.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to get out of it. And people, for me, they are wonderful because they teach me who I don't want to be and how I don't want to act. And as soon as I recognized that, basically I got pulled into a drama that was created around me and several other people. And as soon as I recognized that, I literally stepped out of the fear and the doubt and the worry and the anxiety, and I stepped back into the light. Does that make sense?
Much better place to be.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful. And that's really what we're all learning how to do. It's a level of discernment, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And that is a word that keeps coming up, discernment. For me, it's been coming up for, I would say, weeks. It's been coming up for weeks. It's like everybody says it.
Well, and what does that mean? Let's go into that. Discernment, maybe on that which pulls you out of the light. Yes. And you saying you got pulled out of the light because you like being there. You've had near-death experiences, and that made you aware of that connection. So as you live in these frequencies, one foot in the angelic realm, one foot in the physical world, you really do like hanging out in those higher frequencies, and you get that. Most of us are striving to get what you have most of the time. So when you got pulled out of that, wow. I mean, this is what we have to do on the reverse side, is just to know how to be in that light and to allow that to be present more and more in the face of everything. So discernment about our own knowingness.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's not so easy to recognize, our own knowingness.
I definitely agree with that, and I do feel that is because we are so saturated with information and so saturated with misinformation that we don't actually know what belongs to us and what belongs to somebody else.
Yes. So as we watch that circus out there, I'm reminded of Judy Callie, who says you can take a seat on the bench outside of the circus tent. But what you also say is, it brings to mind the information age, right? Mm-hmm. We are moving from because this information age is really boom, splat. anybody with a YouTube channel can go and say something. I mean, it's so easy. The access is so easy to get our words out, right? Social media and all of that. But now it's transforming. It's becoming the intuition age where we really need to pay attention to our intuition. That is a skill, and we are getting better at it.
And that's wonderful. You know, I often forget that I am a crystal child, and that's from what I've heard, because I actually have learned to, I choose not, I could be putting my foot in my mouth for a second here, but I choose not to, or I'm very careful where I put my attention. Let's put it that way. I'm very careful where I put my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I had my attention on this friend, being a crystal child, which from what I've heard, everybody's wanting to reach into crystal energy. So yes, I am very fortunate. I am already there. I am very grateful. And I literally forget that not everybody is there.
Mm.
So from, you know, a crystal child to everybody else, calling in the light, living in the light, within my body, what we can say, how it feels when I'm in the light. My body, I literally feel like I am floating on the air. I feel happy. I feel bliss. I feel like I'm in complete bliss. You know, and then I come down to pay bills or to do grocery shopping or that sort of thing. But when I got pulled out of the light by the situation, I felt lethargic. I felt heavy. I didn't want to eat. Mm-hmm. Sleeping was, well, I'm really good at sleeping, so that wasn't an issue. But I just wanted to lie on the couch and do nothing, which is not me. I'm very proactive. So my body, it literally felt heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And so to recognize, I think that like a lot of people, like I said, they are carrying around other people's stuff because they don't know. They need to discern what is theirs and what isn't. But as soon as you tune into your body, it's like, wow, I don't feel good today. Like, what is going on? Oh, this person said this or that person did that. As soon as you recognize that, as soon as you tune like into the truth of the matter or feel into the truth, then you can step back into the light. I hope that makes sense.
So, I mean, this is very important because as you did that, you know, it's shifting under feeling, you know, with so much going on out there. There's a lot of intensity as lots of things are being transmuted off our planet. And knowing what's yours and what isn't is a very good skill. And you said it's to tune into the truth, then you can step back into the light. Can you share more on that process of shifting it?
Okay. So when you feel into the truth, so for example, I'll just use that situation again as an example because it's close to my heart and I know it well. So when I realized, so whatever it is my friend told me, you know, and I carried it around for such a long time, for literally a week I carried it around. Eventually it began to dissipate because I was feeling into the truth and I thought, you know, this situation, this has nothing to do with me. Nothing. You know, it had to do with her and two other people. And although the situation to me was very difficult, I began to realize that it had nothing to do with me. So then I began to question, you know, it was literally blocking me from information from the universe. Like I would ask questions and I would get mixed answers. I felt confused. I thought, have I lost my gift? Like, what is going on? But as soon as I felt into the truth and realized it was not mine, it became a block initially for that week, stopping everything. As soon as I felt into the truth and peeled away the layers, it began to dissipate from my energy field because I chose not to carry it anymore, and energetically, I returned it to the girl that it came from.
Okay. Well, you are a psychic medium, and you assist in channeling frequencies or messages from the angelic realm, and you are going to be taking questions today. So our audience and listeners who are on the phone or web call, *2 allows you to raise your hand. If you've got a question for Jane Dance, she can help you feel into the truth of whatever issue it is you are experiencing. Now, there's a way that you can do this where you don't have to share too many details, but if you do share the details, it's fine. She can help you get to the bottom and actually take action to move forward and heal from this. And of course, if you have questions, you can type in a question on our Q&A box. Well, how would one feel about their empathy? How would they begin to know what's theirs and what's not theirs?
Ooh, as soon as you just asked that question, I got a full body goosebumps. So the way that you would know is, we know ourselves really, really well. And how would you know the empathy? So I just heard, because you are your own leader, you know who you are. When an energy comes in or an emotion comes in that doesn't, I don't know how to say this, but doesn't fit within you. Okay, I can give you a better example. So when I do readings, oftentimes, so I tune in about half an hour before a session and receive the messages. And sometimes I'm distracted, sometimes I'm super nervous, sometimes I get aches and pains. And when I actually connect with the client over teleport or Zoom or whatever, the first thing I'll say is, are you nervous? Do you have a sore neck? That sort of thing. And they usually say yes. So I've tuned into I know that my body is pain-free. I have no pain in my body. But if I get a headache or like a aching hip or something, I know that it's coming from the client, because that's not normal for my body. So if you are happy and carefree, and then suddenly you get hit with sadness and grief for no reason, chances are it's not yours. It belongs to somebody else. So when that happens to me, if I'm not doing a reading, most of the time it went during a session. If I'm like, oh, do you have a sore hip? And the client's like, yes, I do. They'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's okay. I'll say it's okay. It comes with the territory. But if I experience something that I'm not in a session and something comes to me, if I get extreme sadness for no reason, I will just say, I return this to sender with love. And as soon as I do that, the emotion, the pain, whatever it is, disappears.
Okay.
I don't, I don't need to carry around anybody else's aches or pains or emotions.
No.
It's not my job.
Jane Dance is a psychic medium, and she is here to actually tune in to you as well. What's the best question, Jane, for someone to ask you? You can answer some basic questions, or what types of questions?
Really not general questions, like nothing like what do my guides want me to know today, because I need more specific questions. I do like details. When I get details, when the guides obviously receive more information, it really doesn't matter, just not general questions.
Okay. So I will go first to show everyone something about the way that you can help us. Maybe if it's just, guidance or something in the right foot. So, and I share this as an example because I want to illustrate the call of the heart, understanding the call of the heart, hearing the call of the heart, and then witnessing how the ego mind comes in to stomp its muddy boots all over it. As we're here for New Earth, we need to really anchor these ideas that come to us. It is higher intelligence. And so personally, and maybe you can already sense this question, Jane. So I'm looking at something right now, and I'll share it with this community because my whole goal for it is to create a system that other people can take into their communities, and they can be supported by it. There's a revenue exchange. It's business. It's New Earth business. It's conscious business. It's sharing. And so it is for returnable, recyclable products. And there's doubt that comes in. Do you have any sense of what that is or what the resistance is?
Okay, so the recycled products, as soon as you said recyclable products, I heard do it. So people's guides are very matter of fact. The resistance, what is the resistance? Do you have fear about being overwhelmed with returning the products? Like, do you have, I just keep seeing like a landslide of products falling on top of you. Do you have, like, is it overwhelming? I just keep feeling a sense of overwhelming, and I feel like I'm clutching my chest and holding my breath. I feel like somebody's pushing on my chest.
Interesting. A part of me wants to create a system that takes care of it. That is the resistance. That's one of the pieces in the puzzle. And it almost has to be in collaboration with other people. For instance, this is something that we're going to see, mark my words, and so I know what it is. And so I think the resistance is not having to be responsible for that end of it.
So you are giving me full body goosebumps, which is confirmation. And as soon as you said that you feel like you need to go into collaboration, what I saw was, so I don't know what the products are, but what I saw was a whole bunch of empty containers initially that were, it was like a mountain, and it was starting to slide down this mountain towards you. Not as big as a mountain, maybe a hill. And then as soon as you said, maybe I need to go into collaboration with someone else, what I saw was, so I saw a man that came in, so it may or may not be male, you know, the person may or may not be male, they may be masculine energy, but what I saw was a man like pushing, not so much with a broom, not so much with a shovel, but he had something in his hand, some sort of instrument in his hand that was pushing the landslide. He was keeping it at bay, and so you were staying free and clear of collapse.
Great. You have just confirmed that collaboration in this is necessary. And it's very interesting because in my community, someone has just developed an app. That's the device in the hand that actually is going to help manage this. And we are the suppliers. So we will be suppliers of these things. So that's good because the collaboration, it's also a drop-off area that's another part of the puzzle. So I hope that I'm inspiring others who have skills in this arena to start thinking of this way too. All right, and so I just thank you, Jane, for that insight, because it's like ants, ants that build they work together.
And when you said the app, I heard two others.
Two others.
Two others. So there could be two others that you're coming into collaboration with, or there's two others, because as soon as you said that there's an app for this, I heard two others. So there could be, I feel like there's two other people coming in, or like there's a company of two coming in, but it's it's you, the guy holding the products from collapsing on top of you, like he has got a steady good grip on the product. You're standing below this hill, and then the app, and then two others.
Very good. Okay. Thank you for the insight on that.
You're welcome.
And again, we share that because I want to just say that this resistance, it's what keeps everything from coming out. And so thank you, Jane, for giving me that connection on the collaboration. Perfect. Okay, so star 2, everyone, if you're on the phone or if you're on the web call at acoustichealth.com, today's live on air, you can hit star 2 to raise your hand and ask Jane a question. There's also a Q&A box if you'd like to ask a question that way. And I want to say a big hello to Angela. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Loren. Thank you for asking a question. You never do that.
No.
I loved it. I've actually felt like I wanted to collaborate with you and wonder if there's any hits on that. Everything that you said with product coordinating is my forte in systems design, but so I want to throw that into the mix. But the question and it's in line with what I was calling to ask Jane about. I've been struggling with where to physically be on the planet. I've moved a few times and I just don't seem to be getting it correct. And I've also struggled with what to do for a living, working for other people versus working for myself, or just finding that correct job thing that I'm supposed to do.
Okay, so I have something called synesthesia, and for me, words I go into deeper dimensions with words because of this condition, I guess you could call it. So if you have, so where you want to live, do you have any areas if you have any areas that you want to live, I will need their names and then I can tap into the energy of the name.
Well, right now I'm living in Berlin, and New York City has been a place I've wanted to live for my whole life. Okay.
So as soon as you said you live in Berlin, I heard not good. Not good.
Obvious.
Yeah, but it's nice to have confirmation.
It is. Actually, thank you.
The word Berlin, for you, it feels, they're saying it feels lackluster. It's like the word is full of air, and I like to say it's not grounded. It's too light, energy-wise for you. It's too light. New York City, and they said that, I heard, so when are you moving?
When I get an income to move there. Because the main issue with moving for me has been that, I'm only as good as my income, I hate to say, but when I'm struggling, I'm very unpleasant.
Right. So first we have to take that word struggling out of your vocabulary.
Okay.
That will help that. When you said that you don't know if you should work for yourself or work for another, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I heard for you to start small. I feel like you are going to be working for yourself, especially when even before you get to New York, you're going to be working for yourself.
Okay.
What do you do now?
I do handiwork. I laugh because it's really just something I'm doing for money, but I have been trying to start my own workshops to teach people how to become more aware of their own discernment. Interesting that you were using discernment as a word today, using muscle testing and other vocations to try and understand what's going on at the subconscious level so they can clear their blocks themselves.
Okay, yes. Have you called for the right clients to come in for you?
No, I haven't actually done that.
Okay. And you said that? I heard, well, I'll rephrase. Well, please get on that. I'm not going to say what they said.
Get busy.
What did they really say?
Yeah, what did they really say? It's okay.
I don't want to swear.
Oh, but that's what I do all day, every day.
Get your ass in gear.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like,
Okay.
What are you waiting for? Get your ass in gear.
I guess I'm waiting to be told to call the right clients.
Well, for me, I live my business is based on complete blind faith. So I just allow all that is to come in. I don't advertise, I don't, people have asked me, do you have a business card? And I'm like, nope. No, I don't. But I just trust that who is meant to find me will. But I also ask, that I want clients that truly want healing. I want clients that are looking for, the profound healing, however I phrase it. But if you want clients that, I just got dizzy as soon as I said that. So dizziness for me is, it's like there's something unsettled here. Let's fix it, or else we're going to keep making Jane dizzy. So for you to ask your team and spirit, your guides, your angels, like, hey, bring me, not so much I want this, blah, 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 like bring me these clients for whatever kind of thing. So just ask. Start asking for what you want. Ask for the right clients to work with you. And then just wait, because they will come in.
It's always such a simple answer.
Yeah, it is. I'm a very simple person, but the guides are very simple as well.
I think that's life. Life is simple. We complicate it.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Okay, so work for myself is important and start small, and moving to New York is a positive thing to do. I don't know if there's another city for me, but those are the first two that are in my brain. I'm from Oakland, California, which didn't feel right.
I heard no when you said that. They're like, nope.
Oh, really?
It's like I feel like you're going.
No. So I feel like you're going to have your business how I see it to be, and I hope I can explain this. It's like when you're in Berlin, you're starting your business and you're building the foundation. And then when you transcend into New York City, how can I say this so that you'll understand? It would be like if you drew, ombre, like ombre colors, they start from really light and then they end up going dark. Yeah. So it's showing the ombre. So right now in Berlin, your business is like the very light of the light. It's not really there. It's an idea. It's a thought. But then when you move to New York City, it's in the darker color. So it's like light blue to dark blue. So it's saturated. The business is saturated. It's healthy. It's vibrant. It has good energy to it. It's successful.
Well, that's great. And I don't need to then worry about finding a job working for somebody else.
No.
Wow.
No.
That's amazing. And should I just let go of my apartment in Berlin?
I heard So let go when you moved to New York?
Yeah. When I moved to, I just let go of everything here in Berlin? Or do I just keep it here for a minute?
I heard, as soon as you said, should I let go of my apartment, I heard hold on to it for now. So like maybe 3 months. I feel it's more for, it's not so much like for you have a place to go back to, but it's more for like a transition. It's if you're a what if girl, what if I don't succeed? What if I have to move back? That kind of thing. But I feel it's more for your
human nature.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Finding a place to live is very difficult in both these cities, so I think that's more for my human nature to be like, we don't want to go homeless, don't do that.
As soon as you said finding a place to live is very difficult, I heard just ask.
Again. Just ask.
For everything. Everything in your life. Everything. Ask again. It really is that easy.
Wow. All right, I have an idea for you. I just have to share it. I'm being pushed, guided, nudged to share it because I just learned about it. So, there's websites for house sitters. What is it called? International house sitters. You could go look and be a house sitter for people who are living somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true.
To just get a place immediately and, yeah.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah, I'm hearing what you're saying, because it is difficult to find a place right away, but getting a house sitting gig isn't a bad idea.
Have you thought about taking those words out, it is difficult?
Oh, God, yes.
I'm going to call you on all of it. I'm going to call all of the audience on what they say, but
well, you're right, Jane, because the thing that people say all the time in Berlin, there's people that look for apartments for 9 months to a year and they don't find it. And I didn't listen to any of them when I found the place that I'm in right now. I was like, yeah, I have a month to find an apartment, so I need to find a place. And I found a place in 2 weeks, just ignoring that whole conversation. So I agree with you. And I don't know why I still say that. And, it's basically what we've been talking about. When we do that, we step out of the light, because we give our power away because when people say it's difficult to find a place to live, then they are basically listening to the outside interference of everybody saying, oh, yeah, it's really difficult to find a place to live. It's true. So once you step back into the light and you're like, I'll find a place in 2 weeks, or I've already found my perfect home, then it will show up. And you'll be like, oh, yeah, this is my perfect home. I will find the perfect home.
For you.
For me. That's a very good caveat. The perfect home for me.
For you.
Well, I feel like I've taken up a lot of your time. I really appreciate your insight. It was very useful.
Wonderful. It was lovely to meet you. You're welcome.
Lovely to meet you. Hey, thanks, Lauren.
Thank you, Angela. Good luck with that. And let's collaborate.
Yes. We didn't get the answer as to whether me and Lauren should collaborate or if I should just continue to call into her show and just be a good guest.
Both.
Both. Absolutely. Yes. And, we have a mastermind group that meets once a month to propel our New Earth ideas and services and businesses together and go forward. Wonderful. So that might be pretty cool as well. All right, Angela, thank you.
Thank you,
we'll talk soon. Okay, thanks. Good. Well, I want to say that you're listening to Jane Dance, and she is sharing her skill as a medium and has messages for you. We're going to go to a Q&A on the Q&A box. And here is Sinarda. I hope I'm saying your name right. Sinarda. I broke up with my boyfriend. I feel it was like a negative energy bombarding our field. Any comment that you would like about that, Jane?
I wish I knew the boyfriend's name, because that would help a lot. Okay, Shenarda. So the question was that she felt that there was a lot of negative energy bombarding their relationship. Their field. I actually, although I don't know his name, that is all right. It does tend to work better if I know names of both parties. But I do feel like that negative energy was coming from the direction, like from his direction. But what I see is it wasn't coming from him, but it would be like there was I want to say a spirit standing next to the boyfriend, passing the negativity on. So it could be that the boyfriend was too open, too receptive. You know, I don't want to say sensitive, but it's like the spirit's energy is passing through the boyfriend and causing disturbances within it. And the only thing that could happen was the breakup. So yes, I do agree with her.
Okay. We hope that helps. I know it does. Let's go to, another question. This is from Anne. Yesterday, I lied to a coworker in the moment about something I was afraid I would make her angry with me. The lie came out of my mouth before I had a chance not to react in that way. How do I deal with such fears at the exact moment of the trigger?
That is very good. In the past, I have done something very similar because I was fearful of how the person would react. And I'm being told, that's because I gave my power away to that person. And it's just for future issues, and they're just saying to step within your power. So instead of lying to somebody because you're concerned with how they're going to react, I have been taught that, how I react is my karma and how they react is yours. Is theirs, sorry. And by speaking our truth, I am only responsible for my words coming out of my mouth. And I'm very careful with what I say. But the person who receives it, they are responsible for how they hear it and how they receive it. So moving forward, I would ask yourself, sit. When I have a fear, I will go within the fear and I will sit with the fear and I will ask myself, for example, why am I fearful to tell this person the truth? And the fear, it will always answer you. And usually it's very tiny. It usually has a very small voice. And as soon as you overcome that fear, you will become more comfortable with speaking your truth. And I think a lot of people need to speak their truth more because that will also help them raise their vibration. So you're only responsible for what you say, not how people react.
Very good. I know many of us are probably guilty of all that and, right, caring what other people think or hurting feelings. So thank you for that. Okay. Let's go to phone caller in San Francisco, area code 415. Hi, caller. What's your name? Hi, caller. You are on the air. What's your name?
Hi, can you hear me? Is this me?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, this is Vivi. I'm so happy.
Vivi, hi.
Hi, Jane. Hi. So good to talk to you, Lauren. Thank you for your show. And Jane, it's so good to hear you. I had a session with you a couple of years ago, and it was really wonderful. Yeah, since then, my husband and I have moved to up north to wine country in Santa Rosa, and it's lovely up here and much more quiet.
than where we were living before, which we love, but it's just different. And it came up suddenly. We've been thinking about it for quite a while, but it came up suddenly, so we're still settling in. And I had a hospitalization overnight. From what I told from a thyroid, I've been over-medicated because I'd been sensing it before COVID started. I had all of these appointments, and then everything shut down, and I have not been able to have it addressed until now. So my question is, and also things kind of fell through with the COVID for moving ahead with my new profession. So I'm wondering, is this having also anything to do with a fear of my moving ahead into what I truly want and trusting with faith? Or what do my angels have for me? I feel like I've been working very diligently on listening, meditating, doing practices in the work every day. And I'm just wondering what they may say. And thank you. I've been thinking about another session with you for a while.
Yay!
So,
yeah, wonderful. Okay, so when you asked, so it's about your career and moving forward with it, is that correct?
yes, and the health.
Okay.
I'm sure that the health will, I've never been hospitalized ever, but I will recover, but
you will, and they're saying that the health is a byproduct of the fear and worry of the career.
That's what I was wondering. Of the career? Yeah.
Yeah, so when you're saying about the health, the energy within the word health to me, for you, it feels very small. They're even saying it's minor. You know, it was almost, they are saying it's insignificant.
Yes.
And so it's like, oh man, I have to worry about my health now, and I have to put my career on hold because now I have to worry about my health, and I don't know what's going on, and I don't understand why, blah, 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 you know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're saying health insignificant, and they've actually told me to cross it off with my piece of paper. So I've crossed it off. Okay, so the career, can you just give me an idea of what the career is?
Well, I've been working for a corporation for many years before the company closed about 4 years ago. And I didn't want to relocate to the East Coast, and I just decided, at that time it was chronic migraines, and I couldn't work anyway, disability for a bit, because it was very stressful, and I kind of overdo things, helping people. It was very intense, very good work, but just a lot of stress. So, and then I was going to start up with, I want to get back into entrepreneurial and using my healing gifts, and as a seer, synthesizer, weaver of businesses, and science and healers and quantum information coming through, and to be part of a team and bringing that forth along those lines. So I don't quite know yet how to start with that or be in a position for it. But there was something that would have been along those lines that happened with a couple of very successful people from different states with other businesses, and it fell through. So that would have been a start, but right now I just don't know.
Okay, so as soon as you said, as soon as you're discussing it, and you were talking about the other healers, your guides stepped in and they said she needs to ask herself if this is for her highest good. So I feel like when you said healing, business, and entrepreneur, and healers, and things like that, and quantum, all of that felt really juicy. And they're showing me like sticky toffee pudding, which is okay. So like just a very, very delicious, really warm and delicious. And then they said she needs to, in her meditation, and I already know what the answer is, but they're saying in her meditation, she needs to ask, is this for my highest good? Which I feel that it is, but it's like for you to, they're like, don't worry about the people that failed. Don't worry about the other people that have failed in that similar business, because I don't feel that you are going to, but they just keep showing me, is this for my highest good? And it's like you're sitting within a bowl of sticky toffee pudding. I don't know if that means anything to you.
It does kind of, yes, it does, because it's like I've been stuck there with my vision and haven't been able to get to it. I know what it feels like and the excitement, because I've done some of those things along the line, but not the new paradigm, not the healing totally, you know.
So as soon as you said, you understand what the sticky toffee pudding means, and you said you've been stuck there, what I heard was eat your way out. So I see you sitting literally within a bowl of sticky toffee pudding. You're sitting right in the center, and you're kind of playing with the toffee, and you're like, oh, it's so sticky and it's getting everywhere, and you're wiping on your shirt. But it hasn't come to you to literally eat your way out. And so as soon as you said that, you grabbed a little tiny spoon, and you started eating the sticky toffee pudding. And you were enjoying the stickiness of it, the warmth of it, the deliciousness of it. And it's like as you were eating it, you were finding little pockets of gems or like little pockets of information. The gems are information. Or things that you had misplaced along the way, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And when you eat it all, you ended up in this cup that was empty, like this beautiful glass, dish, and you had eaten your way out, but you were full of information, and you weren't stuck anymore.
Oh, and is this along the lines of my being a healer myself?
Yes.
And
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's kind of the fearful part. Is like me. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I understand completely.
Wow.
But as soon as you said, is it because I'm a healer, my body broke out into full body goosebumps. Yes. So yes, you are.
I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, and thank you, Lauren. It was very helpful, and my intuition has been coming along. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Perfect. All right. Bye. Okay, if you have a question for Jane Dance, if she can assist you, *2 if you're on the phone or web call, or we have a Q&A box. I want to say that Jane offers personal readings. You can get with her for these personal sessions via the special offer button that is on this webpage. And also, Jane did a Mastery Empowerment course with us, and it was all about reading the intuition, understanding your intuition, and that is also available. We're making that available when you purchase a personal session with Jane, and you can also buy it individually. So that is one way to improve your skills on intuition and also get a personal session with Jane. Okay, here is another question. This is from Lorraine, and she says, I like where I live in San Diego on Volon Street. I think I need a forbearance attorney to be able to keep my house. If I have to sell, is there any good energy about moving to any of the following cities? And there's a list of names that I'll give you when you're ready.
Okay. Yep. I'm ready.
Salida, Grand Junction, Oklahoma City, Flagstaff, Vaughn, Clayton, Branson.
Okay. That's a lot. So she currently lives in
her name, excuse me, I'm seeing another note here. This is for Christy.
Oh, Christy.
And Lorraine is also a name of a place under consideration to move. I can read those names for you again. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got Lorraine, Grand Junction, right?
Salida.
Yep. Okay.
Oklahoma City, Flagstaff, Vaughn, Clayton, Branson, and Lorraine.
Okay. And she currently lives in San Diego?
Yes, and she prefers to live in San Diego on Volon Street. Needs a forbearance attorney.
Okay, so when I was writing down her street name, I received this, the dizziness that I get. It's just like, I liken it to like quick bursts of vertigo, although it's not like that. So there is something going on within Volon Street that if she got that settled, then she could certainly, even as I'm talking right now, I feel like I'm on a very fast carousel, like spinning. Just to give your audience an idea of what it feels like. So there is something within Volon Street that is not healthy, I'm being told. There's something that's not right. So I'm not planting a seed here, but how they're making me feel is it would be like if there was an obvious sinkhole on the street, then obviously nobody's going to live there. But if she was to fill up and heal the land somehow, then the sinkhole would disappear and then she could live there. So I hope that makes sense to her, but there's something that has to be done energetically for her to continue to live there. Then it will be okay. Let's see. Out of the names that I was pulled to, or that you had said, the one that I'm really pulled to is Flagstaff. That one has really good energy to it, that she could live. And the Grand Junction, that one feels really good too. Lorraine to me feels like a name on the wind, like there's nothing solid to it, there's nothing concrete to it. Flagstaff, it feels really warm and vibrant. It feels like, I think she's going to stay in San Diego as long as she gets that energy healed. Because Flagstaff to me, they're making me feel like it is a second choice because the energy is very similar. It's actually a little bit stronger than San Diego for her.
Okay, so did you say she needed to do the energy clearing for her street, her neighborhood, or her house?
I feel like it's for her street, but if she lived at one end, she could extend it to the other end, or if she lived in the center of the street, she could do the clearing from her house and then just push the energy out to the whole street. Sort of thing, even if she did it in her house, that she could just stand in her house, do whatever energy, and then push it out and put the intention that it's for the whole street. Because there's something about that street that energetically is off. It makes me dizzy. Okay.
All right. So, Christy, I hope you find that helpful and you can do that work, that energy clearing yourself. If you need a facilitator, we actually just had Diana Burney on our show last week, and she does remote energy clearings. So if she can assist you, check her out. You can find her at acoustichealth.com, Diana Burney. And if you'd like a reading to go deeper in this with Jane Dance, that is available on this webpage right here at acoustichealth.com. Perfect. So let's go to Santa Maria, California, area code 805. Hi, caller. You're on the air. What's your name, please? That's you. Hi.
Hi. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Oh, hi. Yeah. So Santa Maria. Actually, that's my phone number, but I'm living in Sacramento.
Hi, Sacramento. What's your name?
Joyce. Sorry.
Joy. Joyce or Joy?
Joyce. Joyce.
Okay. Hi, Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
Hi. And moved up here to be with my family, and that's not working out. And so I'm just really at odds, at loose ends about where I should be going. Should I go back to Santa Maria? Should I go to someplace really exotic? I love Italy. I'm wondering if that would be a good fit. And then my other question has to do with, I'm retired. I've got all this energy and nothing to spend it on. I'm really interested in planting trees around the world.
Wow.
And I'm wondering if you have something of that.
Okay, so when you said, should you go back to Santa Maria, and then you said, or somewhere exotic like Italy, I did receive dizziness. So dizziness in this way was good. It's like you would do well in Italy, and it feels like Italy is calling you. So the dizziness for me was, it's very difficult to explain, but it was that, yes, why is she not there right now? How come she's not packing her bags and going? What is she waiting for? Seriously, come on. It was like that sort of information.
Cool.
Because I feel like Santa Maria to me, it feels, I know you said it's where you came from, but it feels familiar, like too familiar. Mm-hmm. Like you could walk the streets blindfolded.
Oh, yeah.
That there's no excitement for you.
Yeah. Right.
But
kind of
Italy,
got it for me.
It's vibrant. You know, it's something new on every corner. Something, you know, there's excitement there. It's exhilaration. Is how it feels, and I feel you need that exhilaration. You need that excitement. I just keep seeing like a doe-eyed woman just wandering the streets with her mouth agape, just like, oh wow, look at that, and look at that, and oh my gosh, did you hear that? And oh my gosh, you know, that sort of thing. Just vibrancy.
I would feel so alive. That's awesome.
Yes, and I don't feel that you, of course, if you choose to move there, I just heard, oh, she's going to choose to move there. If we have to put her on a plane ourselves, we will do that.
Where should I go? Florence, Cinque Terre. Where else do I like? Siena.
Is there, like, what they're showing me is a triangle. So if I had a map of Italy, which I don't on hand, but they're showing me a triangle. So if you were to put this triangle on a map, they're making me feel like where you're going to end up, it's going to be, first of all, do triangles mean anything to you? Like, it's a very solid triangle.
Yeah, oh, they're sacred.
Yeah, they're protection, for sure.
Okay.
So wherever this triangle goes on the map, and it's like I'm looking from space and I'm seeing Italy, and then I see this triangle appear. But the triangle is you. So wherever you choose to go, they're making you feel like your favorite 3 places will turn into a triangle.
Interesting.
I think that your guides and spirits are making you feel like you know where you want to go, but they want you to explore first. So say like you have your heart set on Florence. I just heard no, not Florence. But if you had your heart set on Florence and you went to visit it, and then you yourself was like, oh no, they're making me feel like where you're meant to live is a stone's throw away, and I literally see you picking up a rock and you're throwing it. And if you're like me and you can't throw a rock very far, obviously you're not going to live across the street. But it's like the rock is going to catch on the wind and it's going to land where you're meant to live. And I feel like it's on the outskirts. Like to me, it feels like a small village almost like that saying, if you blink, you'll miss it kind of thing.
Right. Outside of Florence is what we're talking about?
Very close. Yes, very close.
Oh, it's a beautiful area. I've been to all these places. I wouldn't know how to choose, but I could get there and choose intuitively.
I think it's actually going to choose you instead of you choosing it.
I love that. And does it have anything to do with planting trees?
Planting trees. Yes, I feel like it does. I don't feel that it has, it doesn't have to do with, all of it doesn't have to do with planting trees. It's like, if you were to take a piece of paper and draw a line through it, so half a page is planting trees and then the other half of the page is whatever you want to put in there. So it's not planting the trees isn't the means to go there, but it's definitely an option. It's like whatever the empty space is, that's going to guide you there, whatever represents that empty space, which you don't know. But then you can bring in planting trees.
Very nice. Oh, you're
making more mystery. So when are you going to go there?
Yeah, when are you going? This is the year for adventure and travel.
Oh my God. Well, as soon as I get off, I'm going to go Google it, see how soon I can get a flight.
Perfect. I just heard start packing.
That's fabulous. Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, I kind of buried that dream, and I think it's alive again.
It's time to bring it to the surface. Yes.
Wow.
Thank you. Wow is right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And, I'll say it one more time. House sitting. It's a thing. It really is. And I know that you can align with the right person. As Jane was saying, call on the angels. Give them those jobs. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you so much, both of you.
You're welcome.
Will you let me know when you go to Italy? Will you just send an email saying, I'm off?
I'll do that. I'll send you a postcard.
No, how fun is that? Okay, thanks. All right.
You.
Well, everyone, this has been fun. I hope you've enjoyed watching how Jane does this, how she reads her body for the information and listens to her guides, because this is something that we can all do. And again, I want to point you to her 2-hour Mastery Empowerment course that actually goes into how we can begin to do this even more in our life. And that is included when you book a personal session with her. Jane, tell us about the personal sessions.
Well, they are an hour in length each. And, as you saw and heard there, every session is different, but they always start in one place, and the more time we have together, the more they evolve into deeper dimensions. And it's quite an extraordinary ride, I must say.
To say the least.
Yeah.
An extraordinary ride. If you'd like that, then register today and you can make an appointment right away with Jane. Okay. There's a couple more questions I'd like to get to. This one is from Pippa. Hi, Pippa in Glastonbury. Hi, beautiful ladies. I'm experiencing this exact topic today, she says. Having just bought a 50% equal share as co-owner in a new home to start a community, and I'm feeling and picking up that I am not welcome and included, and that there are bad energies towards me. So I'm feeling very low, picking up that it must be my energy. But when I am away, I know this is not me. I am so upbeat and lift people up, while the other co-owner is not such a positive person. So any help on how to move forward would be very welcome at this moment. And she adds, I do not want to live there and put the property back on the market.
Okay, so first of all, Pippa, I love your name. You do have a lot of spunk to you. You are shining your light like very brightly, which is wonderful. The energy, of course, it is not coming from you. It's your guides just said, "How can it? Look at her. She is shining so brightly." So this partner, whoever they are, okay, so first of all, just recognize that the energy, the negative energy is not coming from you. And I just heard clear it away. So you can place protection in front of you. I will often call in, actually, like before every show that I do or every session that I do, I actually call in angels. I call in one to stand in front of me, one behind me, one to the left of me, to the right of me, one above me, and one below me. So that just keeps me nice and cushioned in angelic light and love. I just heard for you, Pippa, to call in the angels more. I feel like, and to lean on them more. And I feel like energetically they are going to help you send out more light. This person that has the other 50%, I don't know if they're male or female. I do feel it more to be a male presence. But I feel like this person has never experienced light, so I don't feel you're going to be able to change their negativity. It's up to them to change that. They just want you to concentrate on your own light and surrounding yourself in it. I feel like you're going to, what I saw you doing when Loren was describing the situation is I saw Pippa pushing, I saw her standing outside, but it was like she was pushing walls out, but she was pushing walls of light and love out to, her fellow neighbors, whoever resides there. And she was doing it willingly, like there was no resistance to it. It was just something naturally that she does. So to keep on doing it. I feel like she is going to win over, I feel like she's going to win over the community. She may not necessarily have to leave where she's living because I feel like her light is going to, I don't know how to say this, but like win over everybody in the town, everybody in the village, and this person that owns the other 50%, they might fall away. They might, sell their 50%, so somebody else comes in with light and love. So I wouldn't quite give up on that quite yet because I feel that there's a very big positive change coming for her.
A very big positive change. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Pippa. Cool. Hope that helps. Keep us informed. And last question. This is from John in London. Would love to know if Jane can tell me if she sees any movement from where I'm living now to where I'd like to be, which is living in my home anytime in my own home, anytime in the near future.
Oh, okay. Okay. So there is some dizziness with, as soon as you said, Loren, his own home, I did receive a very quick blast of dizziness. Don't worry, Jane, that one is good. That dizziness is good. Dizziness is just not generally good overall. So do I see him living in his own home? I was just, as soon as I asked that, I heard yes by the end of the year. So, John, I do feel, and don't give up, John. Don't give up that hope. Because the energy within his name, he does feel very lovely. But it's like the energy, this is, I know that this is strange. Like, even I say it's strange. But So the energy within his name is lovely. It's just very warm and inviting and lovely. But how I see his name to be is the J, it's like it's leaking energy out of it. It has a leak, like a tire that has a leak. It's slowly fizzling out. But the rest of his name, the O, H, and N, has solid energy. So the leak hasn't hit the rest of his name. So if he can just patch up that J, and it's like a very tiny nick, I would say, of the leak, then, and I feel like somebody's pulling that energy out. So to put like a Band-Aid on it, or better yet, stitch it up, to cut, I don't want to say cut ties with whoever it is pulling the energy out, but to put up protection or something, because they're making me feel as soon as he does that, by the end of the year, he will have his own house, his own home. And I see him, like just him in it, that it's, for me, that represents that nobody else owns it, that it's his, you know, he's touching the walls, like he's very proud, he's smoothing them, or, yeah, you know, this is mine, kind of thing. So yes, John, I do feel that as soon as you patch up that little nick, the little leak within your energy, and you might be asking, like, how do I do that?
Yes, I hear that.
Yeah. Like, oh boy, how can I do that? So how do you do that? So it's just to take stock of who is resonating in your life and who isn't resonating in your life. Because I feel like there is the person to me that I feel like has created the leak is feminine. Like, to me, I feel a smaller, like a shorter female, or a smaller female, and she's like taken a razor blade and just put a little nick into his energy, and he may not even realize his energy is leaking out, but from what I feel it is, it's just a very slow fizzle. So for him to take stock of where he puts his energy or who he gives his energy off to, his guides are like, then he will, I'm starting to get goosebumps, so he will discern where the energy is leaking out, and then he can put a stop to it. And it feels as easy as putting I don't want to say a Band-Aid because that's a quick fix, but keeping that person at arm's length, or, you know, putting extra protection on that energy side. Like if he has a really good heart, or people take advantage of him, for example, you know, just pulling his energy in closer to him, that sort of thing. I hope that makes sense, John.
Yes. Okay, John, thank you, and good luck with that. We support your vision. So there's time now. Congratulations. Make that happen. Very good. Well, thank you, Jane, for being here, and thank you, everyone, for being here. I do have one more question that came in, and I want to help this person.
Okay.
I don't have a name. Is that okay?
Yep, that should be okay.
Okay. All right, so here is this question. I'm in an unhappy marriage. I would appreciate it if Jane sees me in the future being happy with the father of my kids or someone else. Or would I be alone? I actually don't mind alone.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so the unhappy marriage, I just feel, obviously, you know, I've been in an unhappy marriage, and anybody that has been in one, they do feel heavy. I liken it to being in a trash compactor, where you just get, the life gets squeezed out of you. Once this person gets out of it, I feel like the will should be in him. So I do feel that once she gets out of it, and I just heard we're all holding hands for her. So to me, that feels like her guides and angels are holding hands. I'm getting goosebumps. Holding hands around her, and I'm getting the dizzy feel again.
Yeah.
But holding hands around her, so she feels very protected to me because they're all holding hands. So once she gets out of that marriage, they're like, we will give her some time to heal because she needs to process and she needs to find out who she is again. Because she doesn't, her energy, although I don't know her name, feels very flat, and so she doesn't know who she is. I feel like that has been taken away from her. But once she rediscovers, I don't know if she rides horses, but I just saw this horse come into the picture. It's like she got on a horse and she was running around on the horse, and there was wind blowing in her hair, and she was just very full of life. And there's pinks and purples and greens and teals popping around her. So as soon as she does that, when she rediscovers who she is, then yes, somebody will come in for her. But, when she leaves the marriage, I feel like she'll be by herself for at least a year. And then when she rediscovers who she is, and again, I see that a lot of color around her, then the right guy will come in, the correct one will come in. But I just heard she has to find herself first. Because as I see her right now, because colors speak to me differently than other people, right now she's beige, her energy is gray, it's dull, and obviously in an unhappy marriage, your color gets taken away. But don't worry, because your colors will come back. And I'm being told they will come back stronger and more vibrant than before, and I'm getting goosebumps, even more than you actually realize. Now I have full body goosebumps.
Yes. Well, a big hug to that gal and or guy, we don't know, but thank you.
We don't know. Yeah.
Thank you for this, and wow, would love to hear how that goes for you. Thank you, listener. We've got you, holding you in love space.
Yes.
Well, Jane, thank you so much. This has been another interesting and radiant quantum conversation with you. Thank you so much for being here. Any final thoughts as we say goodbye today?
Thank you so much for having me, and I just ask that everybody start stepping into their powers again. Start feeling into who you are again, because it's a magical place for us when we live from our truth and step into our powers.
Live from our truth and step into our powers, and together with love and compassion, we create new earth. And let's get busy, everyone. Thank you so much for your love and light. And Jane Dance, thank you too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, everyone. And now we're going to dance our way to the cosmic heart. But I'm feeling all sparkly. So let's dance and sparkle. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe, music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.
Thank you.